What impresses you most about head coach Spencer Danielson?
I think he is the right coach for the right time, the way college football is right now. I think he's really positive with the players, and he's real consistent in his own skin and how he is. He's the same guy every day, and he's a positive guy that's for the players, but yet he tells them the truth. He tells them what they need to hear, whether they want to or not, and I think they can see that he's genuine in what he says to them.
How daunting is that? It's the 13 interceptions you look at from UNLV.
They do a really nice job of taking the ball away. They have some ball hawk guys in that secondary and at linebacker. I mean, they're legit. I mean, it's not like they're lucky. They've made the plays. They're very well coached on defense. They have a lot of defense. They do a lot of different things. They don't just sit there and give you one look. I mean, obviously their head coach has been successful as a player and as a coach at the highest level. And they hit on their transfers. They hit. They've got some really talented guys there. They're playing good. You got to give them credit.
What stands out to you about Jackson Woodard, number 7?
His length, I think he played his best game in the Oregon State game. His length, his speed off the edge, they move him around. He's versatile. They use him in different ways. He's more like an NFL outside linebacker. He's a dropper. He's a rusher. They move him around. I think they do a good job. They've got three guys I think who are really good playmakers, and those guys have made plays.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you had some, watch the Mountain West Championship game from last year. So how do you feel like this team, UNLV has grown even since that kind of moment?
I think when you watch that game, I mean, that game doesn't matter right now. I mean, I'm sure it matters to the psyche of both teams in different ways, but everything kind of went wrong for UNLV in that game and I'm only talking about Boise's offense against UNLV's defense. I mean, Boise State hit a lot of big plays, and I mean, don't get me wrong, you still got to make them, but some of them were a little bit lucky. Like on the long touchdown pass to Bolt, their two guys ran into each other and fell down. I mean, you can't, that had nothing to do with game planning. That was just luck. So I'm sure that UNLV feels like that they didn't put their best foot forward, and I would agree, they probably didn't. I mean, they had a lot of things go against them in that game. I think they're playing at an extremely high level right now. I don't think that's the kind of game it's going to be this week. I mean, that's not how we're built, really. I know from the Boise State offensive coach's standpoint, they didn't know if they were coming back in that game. They didn't know if they had a job, so they let it all hang out. They had a little bit different kind of a game plan than we're going to have in this game. So I don't see it going the way that game went last year. That's neither here nor there. That's just the truth.
Cam Camper, consistently every game getting up numbers. I mean, is he maybe a potential NFL guy, Dirk?
That's not my decision to make. He's finally healthy, and he's been playing at a high level since he became healthy. I'll be the first to admit that I didn't really know what we had, because he didn't practice in spring ball and he didn't practice in fall camp, so I didn't really know what we had until he got healthy. But he's a really good route runner. We can move him around. He knows all the spots, and he's playing good for sure. But I don't know about the other part.
How about with Ash? Just what he was?
Yes, I think he is an NFL player. I'm going to go out on a limb on that.
But just his toughness down the stretch in that Hawaii game. I mean, at times we've asked about him not playing in the second half, and then you rode him to the end of that one and picked up a road in there. Yeah, well, as I said, I think maybe we haven't talked. I mean, the biggest difference in that Hawaii game, we've been scoring touchdowns in the red zone. We had to kick field goals, so that 21-0 or 21-7 was 13-7. So that 3 touchdown or 2 touchdown lead was 6 points. That's a big difference. We've been
We've been doing a great job of that, of scoring touchdowns in the red zone. We did not do that in the Hawaii game. Some of that's due credit to Hawaii. Yeah, you gotta do what you have to do to win the game, and that's, in this particular game, in the Hawaii game, we needed Ash to carry it 31 times. If that's what we need this week, that's what we'll do.
Spencer just having some fun with Ashton Genty, and social media is having a lot of fun with the way he stands straight up in the backfield.
Yep.
Is that an advantage thing to see, or is that just a personal thought of his? I think a couple of the other running backs are doing it as well.
Oh, I think that's probably a social media invention that has caught hold, and now people are doing it. I don't pay too much attention to that.
Did he do it? Did he start doing it because he just made him more comfortable, or
I don't know.
You don't know anything?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. He's pretty good at it though.
Couple more.
Dirk, how impressive was like the ground game there in the fourth quarter and to finish it off, in the second half against Hawaii?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one thing that a running game does is I think that showed up in the Washington State game as well. That we didn't, we ran it better in the fourth quarter than we ran it in the first and second quarter, and I think some of the teams around the country, and I've been plenty guilty of this in my career too, is you have a tendency to give up on your running game too early, and you can wear a defense down if you're able with time and score. If you're able to hang in there with your running game, you can sort of wear a defense down a little bit in the fourth quarter.
What do you think of the way Maddox played against Hawaii?
He had some good things and some not so good things. I mean, it wasn't his best game. It wasn't a bad game. I mean, the things that we talk about every week. Mad Dog does a good job running the team. He's not turning it over. He's getting the ball out of his hands, which is having the effect where we have very few negative plays in the pass game. But we need to be more consistent with our ball location. So it's a work in progress. It's been a little up and down.
When you have a bye week, can you work differently with one-on-one with him on certain things, or is it more still the team concept, or is it a little bit of both? Or?
Both. We had things for everybody at every position that we were trying to get better at. Different things that we saw either off the self scout or just stuff that we had in our notes that we were trying to get guys better at. We practiced twice over the bye week, so you're not gonna get a ton of that. But anytime you point things out to these guys, that's one thing these players do a good job of. Is they, when you point things out to them and make it a point of emphasis, they're working to try to make it better.
And when you say Maddox and ball location, is that just fitting it into the target more precisely, or?
Some of it's timing when you let it go. Some of it's ball location, inside, outside, high, low. Some of it's footwork. Some of it's trajectory, what type of throw. So different concepts.
Probably an obvious common sense answer here, but with we mentioned the turnover battle earlier in the game. Just in a game like this, and how important it is to win in the turnover battle.
Yeah, it's important. It's important every week, and obviously UNLV is number one in the nation in that. Now, one thing where that stat is a little bit skewed is that's based strictly on fumbles and interceptions. Our defense getting those fourth down stops. That our I think they got 3 fourth down stops last week. So I think on the official stat sheet we were even. I think we were even or +1 against Hawaii. We were really more like +3 or 4 when you count those fourth down stops. But we're doing a good job of not turning the ball over. They're doing a good job of taking the ball away. So let's hope the trend on our side continues.
Just an observation. In practice, like in years past, the quarterbacks they always threw into like nets. And
I'm not a big net guy. I'm not a big net person.
Why is that first important?
I've never seen a net make a catch in a game.
So is that more for your quarterbacks or more for the receivers, or who's that?
That's just more for me. All right. Thanks, guys.